This is Bean to Barstool, a podcast that looks at the intersections of craft chocolate, craft beer, and other artisan drinks. My name is David Nilsson. I'm a professional drinks writer, an advanced cicerone, the author of Pairing Beer and Chocolate, and the creator and host of this show. The music for this episode is by my dear friend, indie folk musician Anna P.S. You can find out more about Anna's music in the show notes or on annapsmusic.com. You can find links and information about our guests in the show notes as well. I hope you enjoy this episode of Bean to Barstool. Hey everyone, welcome to Bean to Barstool Bite Sized, where we spend about 5 minutes with some of our favorite people from craft beer and craft chocolate. Today we hear from Dorothy Neary, one of the founders and chocolate makers at NearyNogs Chocolate in Northern Ireland. In this clip, Dorothy talks about the influence of Irish music on much of her chocolate making and on a few specific bars, and she shares the stories behind those here. Hope you enjoy it.
Well, we live in Ireland, and a long time ago there was, I shouldn't say a long time ago, there's still a band called Clannad. It's an Irish band. They have a lot of history and they're amazing musicians. And they sang a song called The Dúlaman. And I won't sing it for you, but you can look it up. And the Dúlaman translates from Irish to English, and it talks about the seaweed gatherers. Locally here, they would have gathered seaweed here in Carlingford Lough. When we listened to that song, we thought it's a part of music is a really big part of Ireland. It's a big part of where we live and, you know, who we are as people and storytelling. And I was listening to the song and I thought, I just felt like I need to make a bar out of this. And obviously, because our chocolate factory is between the mountains and the sea, and almost all of our hedges, you'll find, especially this time of year, it's like gold hedges everywhere. Like the side of the mountains, just the gold. And in the autumn time, it's all purple with heather. So it's very seasonal. And actually, in old Celtic mythology, the gorse flower was there to remind us that the sun will shine again, because in the winter it can be very dark here. And, you know, we're on an island and the weather just changes all the time. So I thought this would pair really well with the seaweed. So I'm the seaweed gatherer now. So I gather the seaweed. Different people in work, and including myself, we gather the gorse flowers, not on windy days because it comes on these bushes that have very prickly thorns on them. So I have to be careful. But we thought this would pair really well. The yellow flowers on the bar go gorgeous with the green seaweed. And it's a nice flavor. I don't really feel like when the gorse flowers are dry, I don't really feel like you pull a strong coconutty kind of flavor off them. And because we don't use artificial flavors, so we just put, you know, there's some gorse flower on there. I don't think it lends a strong flavor as such. We've tried, what do you call it, when you like submerge it in the chocolate and then we've sieved it off, but I think it gets lost in the dark chocolate.
Sure.
But it's okay. The point of the bar is that it's for the seas and the mountains. So
I love that. Yeah, I'm familiar with that band. I have one of their albums on vinyl, and
oh, do you? Amazing.
yeah, and they were an inspiration for another band that I used to listen to called Iona from
Oh, yes.
Ireland. Yeah, so that's interesting.
I met the year before, I can't remember. We have something on every summer here called Fiddler's Green, and all musicians from all over the world and especially all over Ireland come. And your woman from Clannad was there, and she was singing up front, and I gave her that bar, and I just was like, this is like an epic moment for me. So
Yeah,
that was
that's
amazing.
That's what Marie Brennan or
Yeah.
yeah. That's wonderful. Are there other bars where music or some other type of art was an inspiration to you when you're trying to come up with those flavors?
Yeah, like our saltwater days bar. I know a lot of people put salt in chocolate. When we don't, I feel like we don't, especially the past few years, we don't get a lot of sunny days. So I thought, we do a lot of whiskey tasting and pairing, and sometimes when you're smelling a lot of whiskey, it evokes ideas and thoughts. Our Ecuador chocolate always makes me feel like you're getting a warm hug when it's in the melanger, and there's a banana note in there, and it's kind of caramelly, and I just feel like it's like a hug from a really lovely granny or something. But I was down at the beach one day and I thought, you know, I just wish I could put this day in a bar somehow. So you know, when you leave the beach, you always find sand somewhere. So it's like
Hmm.
reminiscence of you were definitely at the beach because you found sand. So on our saltwater days bars, there I ground up some cocoa nibs and put that on the bar. And then there's gold dust because you know when you leave the beach and even while you're still there, everything feels sunshiny and golden and happy. And then there's sea sultans from Echo Island, which is actually on the other side of our island here in Ireland, but it's such great salt. So we put that on the bar because when you leave the beach, you know, you can taste salt on your lip and you're like, I've been at the beach, and you just feel happy inside. So that's our saltwater days bar. And then we have another bar called Lunasa. And Lunasa is actually an Irish word for the month of August. And the month of August, the end of August, is when I harvest the lavender that goes into that bar. We don't pick it when it's very green and in full flower. We wait till it kind of starts to close a wee bit. And also, there's a festival here in Ireland called the Lunasa Festival, and it happens the end of August.
You can find out more about NearyNogs in the show notes, and you can listen to my entire conversation with Dorothy back in episode 99. I'll share that in the show notes as well. The music today was by my dear friend Anna P.S. My name is David Nilsson. Thanks for listening to Bean to Barstool Bite Sized.